sgconfig, create a project. So we click on the GE logo. We put in the project. We put in the project name as D20-408 calculator. Okay, then we click OK. Now my calculator project is ready for adding of a device. Of course, we go to device templates, pick up the 1.5 new installation, depending on whatever firmware that you have of the MX in your lab or on your chassis. That's the MX target that you would pick up. So if you have, for example, version 1.61, which is the latest with this release of sgconfig in your chassis, just pick up that. As you can see, the factory default device naming is given, and now I will have a wizard that will ask me what is the name of my device. I'm going to call it calculator device. I make sure that the device, I uncheck the LAN based because it's not required at this point. Make sure that the firmware version is set up to what's equivalent to my firmware that's in the device. It's asking me what is the part number of the main board, 5263001. The SAN is the same SAN, and then we just click next, finish. And now my device is ready for configuration. Okay, so we're going to double click on the device. That opens the application list, and by default the show disabled application is checked. So I'm gonna enable only the applications that I'm interested in and disables the ones that I'm not interested in. So I'm not interested in the IRIGB. I'm also not interested in the LAN manager. And the Internet Protocol stack. So I'm left with B008 and B014, which are already configured. So all I need to do right now is go and configure the peripheral link, which is similar to the peripherals that we have attached to our D20 chassis. As you can see here, you've got an ASKC2 board, so we're going to delete all of these boards. So we're going to add in our C1 board. Then we click OK. And I get the interface for the C board. The point that I would like to pick up is digital input number 5. So first point. And digital input number 10, second point. And basically I'm going to build a simple expression. When those 2 points are the same, I'm going to have a logic that will tell me they're equal, and when they're not the same, I'm going to have a logic that will tell me that they're not equal using an alarm point in calculator, right? So that's it as far as configuring the B003 in order to bring these points, these physical points, into the Win database. So now we can close the peripheral link. And we want to see the A083 application. So in the disabled applications, we want to enable A083, which is the calculator DTA. So I right click on it, click enable application, say yes. And now my application A083 is ready for configuration. So I'm gonna uncheck the, so we unchecked the show disable applications, and we can see that this is the only applications that we're interested in, which is the peripheral link, calculator, system point database, and Westmeet. Now we can go to the calculator application. Now notice that the version number of this application is 300, unlike the older calculator applications which pull the points directly with their reference from the Win database. This one map them in first and then use them in an expression. So the first step is to take those 2 points, those 2 digital input points, and map them in as 2 digital input points that we will use in our expression. Okay, so in here we go to the digital input map table. And we map in the 2 points. So in the digital input map table, we map in 2 points, which is the first point that has reference number 5 in the peripheral, but now notice it's digital input 1 inside calculator. And the second point, which is reference 10 in the peripheral, has digital input 2 in calculator. Once you have put in your points, now you can do the comparison between point number 5 and point number 10, but please notice that that's basically point number 1 and point number 2. Okay, so I'm gonna, in my expression, I'm gonna say DI1 not equal DI2 is true status. So in the expression under digital inputs table, right, we will simply write this expression DI1 not equal DI2. Okay, and then we click save. Now we can close our calculator table. Job is done. We go into the Win database. And that expression is going to be evaluated into a single point that's in the system point database for calculator. So I have to go into calculator, DTA, go to the points, and name that point as point number 1. Click OK. Now notice that that point will be point number 17 when I go to the terminal emulator and go to the descriptors. In the descriptors, I'm gonna say here digital input 5 equal digital input 10.